Poop, sir. Hey guys, how's it going? It's I, the real Randy Chavez. Kind of hoping you didn't catch the tail end of that conversation. Is that a pun? Anyway, this is going to be a long-form talk podcast video, and it is going to be on bugging out. And I don't mean like bugging out, like freaking out, like he's tweaking. I mean like bugging out, like doomsday preppers and having a to-go bag and water and MREs and height. All right, so. This is probably something I should talk about in general. Survival skills, ex-military, probably should have to feel like it's responsibility to pass on certain knowledge. None of it classified. All of it's going to be just general stuff you can pick up anywhere online. Or honestly, doomsday preppers are extraordinarily good at this. And part of the reason for this is because, one, it's the right thing to do, and also because there is an election. And I have heard talks of people saying, especially most likely Democrats, but it's probably going to be either party. Whichever party does not win the election, like as far as the White House, the other party will contest the vote. Most likely, they'll claim like fraud on like the mail-in ballots, or they'll claim like intimidation. Whatever it will be, it's just one side. The side that loses is just going to claim fraud or whatever it is. And if Biden wins, most likely, same as always, there'll be a smooth transition of power. There's a chance that it's not. Again, Trump is not a politician. He is a wild card. Military loves him. Police loves him. There is a chance, a greater than 0% chance that he says, like, no, I'm not going to give it up. I'm not going to give up power. This is wrong. I was scammed to cheat. And you know what? I have the power of the military behind me, and you're not going to take this away. There is a greater than 0% chance that happens. And although, if he doesn't do that, most likely he won't. If he just says, okay, whatever, most likely everything will be fine. The stock market will take a little bit of a hit. You're not really going to see riots or anything if Trump decides to peacefully give over his power to Biden, Harris, whoever. However, on the other aspect of that, there are plenty of people in New York City, in Chicago, everywhere, every major city that is boarding up their shop. Business owners are boarding up their shops. I talked to many of them today, some of which are my clients, saying like, I am not doing anything, taking any type of financing, whether it be equipment, credit line, whatever, until after the election, because they do not know what will happen with the riots. And again, this is not going to be from Trump supporters unless Trump says so. Unless Trump says this was a scam and he was frauded, cheated out of the election, then yes, you will have some god-awful stuff happen. But on the off chance that Trump does win, and you are going to see riots of the highest order. Like George Floyd, Floyd Patterson, like I think Floyd Patterson's a boxer, I keep forgetting. And it's unfortunate that I have to remember all of these names of the black men that were killed by police, because that shouldn't happen. At the same time, there's like, okay, how many of them are really the police's fault, and how many of these are blown out of proportion? And again, I don't know, case by case basis. I think that there's like over a million interactions between police and civilians each week, and most of them are peaceful. It's just the ones that you see blown out of proportion. There's, oh my God, like when they were happening in Philly the other day. They were happening in Philly because this guy got shot by police. I don't know if he died. He might have. But cops had been called 3 times. The guy was charging at them with a knife. What do you expect? All right, anyway, I digress. A lot of these business owners are boarding up their shops not because they're afraid of Trump supporters. They're afraid that if Trump wins, the left, the BLM, Antifa, the riots will start, and they're afraid for their shops. That's just what I'm seeing right now. And again, the left will probably contest the vote, try to make it so that it goes to the House, because Democrats do have the House right now. If it is contested for, I think, 69 or 72 days, it goes to... okay, sorry, I had a message. The vote will go to the House. So this is something that I don't know if it's been done before in any type of history, definitely not in recent history, but this is something. So I started this video by talking about bug out bags, what you should have, and just in case riots become too close to your home, too close for comfort, and you and your family want to bug out, you and your dog want to bug out, whatever, can't even believe I have to talk about this. You should have a case of water. Case of water, and there's these things called life straws, which, again, you probably can't get them before the election right now, but life straws is something that they look like almost like giant syringes. And essentially they are, because it will filter. You could put it into toilet water, dirty pond water. It will filter out 1,000 milliliters of bacteria for you, like of water. So you could put in, and you could drink it. You do whatever. There's a filter in there. It'll filter out 1,000 milliliters. They're very small, but that's enough for not really the day, but that's if you have nothing else. And okay, collect some rainwater. Do that. Perfect. Obviously, the filter will probably last a little bit longer. Where if you filtering out dirty swamp water or just rainwater, you should definitely have that. MREs are a freaking. This is the government is not good at a lot of things, but creating meals ready to eat, that's what MRE stands for, is like a godsend, and that is something that they do extraordinarily well. You could buy those online. You can, if anyone has access to military base, go there and get it. At the BX, you probably get it cheaper there because I think they sell them wholesale. There's something that if you have, they're good forever. You can eat them from the 50s. You can eat them from the 70s. Like I still have some of mine from 2013. I eat them once in a while during quarantine, like the first few days, like what's going on? I still have them. So that's something that you should have as well. Alaska right now is experiencing an ammo shortage. I don't know what it's from. I don't know if it's a manufacturing issue or it's because fear of maybe Biden getting in and Biden tweeting, "I'm going to take your guns," and just honestly, Trump could win if he just retweets that every hour on the hour. Where I just do not understand Biden's thought process with that. Maybe he thinks he's losing and he wants to say something really outrageous to be able to rile people up. Similar to when Chris Christie, when he was like losing, like really far behind the polls in like 2016, and the fight for a Republican nomination was coming up, president, and he was like 7th or 8th in the polls, and he says in one of the debates, "You know what? If I become president, the pot party's over, Colorado. No more pot." I was like, that is the stupidest thing to say. That is something that, yes, there are some people that believe that we should not have guns. There are some people that, and I've heard it argued, fairly well, is they're like, hey, if a kid on the playground hits another kid with a stick, what do? Do you give that other kid a stick, or just say like, hey, just take away all sticks? And in that metaphor or simile, whatever, that makes sense. But thankfully, we are not children on a playground. We're very adults with very complex situations, and some adults, that's how they make their living. They're hunters, and I don't mean like trophy hunters. I mean like they live off the land, or they, some places have really bad wolf problems. And I love wolves. Like I donate so much to freaking animal charities, but sometimes if you have like a bad area like with wolf problems and the wolves are eating like livestock and they're eating other things, like you need to hire someone to take out some wolf population. It happens with bears, it happens with deer. Like there's so many deer. You know how many cars get crashed each year because of deers on the road? You need hunters to control that population. So having take away guns is just silly. And again, I get it. There's a lot of crime that happens with guns, a lot of shootings that happen with guns, but most crime that happens with guns, that shootings and killings, they involve handguns, and that's not what they're trying to take away. If you want to like pass a bill saying, okay, most shootings are committed with handguns, maybe try to make some type of background check, make them have them do it quicker, have them be more thorough. I don't know how to do it, but there's a lot of people on the right side like, no, any law with gun regulation is an infringement. Okay, fair point, but kind of have to work together here. But bug out bags, try to go somewhere upstate. I'm talking about New York, anywhere that is secluded, anything away from big cities. Honestly, if you're not in a big city, you'll be fine. I don't really see anything crazy going on in suburbs or outskirts of towns. Big city, hope you have insurance. And a lot of my clients, yeah, they do. I will be staying in my home with a 12 gauge shotgun with an M9 And like, fucking try it. Again, I live in the suburbs. It'll be fine. But this is something that is, I think it's unfortunate I have to talk about it, but if you're in a city, you really might want to, I don't know, do you stay and defend your home? You say like, hey, you know what? I have insurance on my home. My life is worth more than this. I'm going to go out of town for a couple days. That's probably not a bad idea. I mean, it doesn't take a hero to stand there and get your head blown off for something that you have, a couple $1,000s worth of stuff. No, if you have later, Lou. If you have, I hope you had a good poop. If you if you have insurance on the place, by all means, that's fine. Things can be replaced, lives can't. Again, this is kind of a worst case scenario. Also, I wish the best for everyone. I'll make another video about this as well, but I wish the best for everyone. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. We're all still Americans at the end of the day. I love you all. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Peace, guys.